Once a fanatic of K-dramas, it is unavoidable that you will experience the second lead syndrome at least once. You know, that condition where you can't help but root for someone other than the male lead. Someone much sweeter, much more caring, 10 times more understanding, always rushing to sacrifice themselves, and, of course, never ending up getting the female lead. So to remind you how frustrating this trope is, here are 5 recent K-dramas where the second male lead syndrome hits super hard. Number 1. Love Alarm. How do you discover love via a mobile app? If you say Tinder, you're right. But for a regular K-drama fan, the answer may differ. In this drama, we're entering a world where people can see those with romantic feelings for them via an app. Hwang Sun-oh, the second male lead, is not only rich, but also a handsome model. He soon found an interest in Kim Jojo, an unfortunate schoolmate trying to pay off her parents' debt. It was love at first sight, and he soon confessed to her. However, their relationship was not smooth sailing. The gap between the rich and poor was just too big, and Jojo's lack of confidence worsened it. At the end of season 1, despite Sun-oh having tried his hardest, extending his hand whenever Jojo felt pressured and never minding her circumstances, Jojo still asked for a breakup. The series was scheduled for season 2, set 4 years later, and viewers were waiting for Sun-oh's journey to win Jojo's heart back. But that did not happen. Jojo ended up with Sun-oh's childhood friend, Ye-young, just because this guy had similar circumstances to her, and she was moved by his dedication. Just like that, our poor Sun-oh ended up losing both his friend and his love despite all his hard work. Honestly, if I were Jojo, I would totally go for the sweet, handsome, and rich Sun-oh. And I bet you would too. Number 2. 18 Again. What's worse than the second male lead syndrome? Double that up and you have it. Welcome to 18 Again, where there are 2 love storylines running the screen, and 2 second male leads to cry over. The series focuses on male lead Dae-young, who wished to go back in time to fix his life, only to end up morphing into his 18-year-old body in the present time. He starts living a new life as the adopted son of his best friend, and attending the same school with his twin children.
뭐? 뭘 봐, 좀 까르, 씨. 18.
In the first storyline, we have Dae-young and his wife, Da-jung, being on the verge of divorce, and the relationship turned even more sour as Dae-young basically just disappeared. Meanwhile, Da-jung met famous baseball player Ji-hoon at her new job, who turned out to be a charming single dad that supported her throughout her internship at a news station. He gifted her with sneakers when Da-jung's heels broke, and asked her to interview him when she was mistreated at her job. He constantly admired Da-jung's efforts at work, and made the audience drown in his heart-melting gazes. Marry a man who looks at you the way Ji-hoon looks at Da-jung, many netizens claimed. Except Da-jung was already married, and Ji-hoon's love just could not amount to the ties and lingering feelings Da-jung had with her husband, their bond, and their children. So basically, Da-jung had chosen an unfaithful husband who only seeks self-satisfaction over a successful man who truly cares for her. Meanwhile, in the second storyline, Dae-young's daughter, Shia, has attracted both Chiho, her childhood friend, and Jasung, the school's basketball captain. Despite Jasung being a bully in the past, he turned out to be abused at home, and grew kinder over time, shyly seeking forgiveness. Despite his redemption, Jasung was still rejected as Shia could not forgive him for the past bullying, and she opted for the 100% good boy Chiho. A legit reason, but we cannot help but feel for the bad boy that turned good. Number 3. Startup. Startup tells the story of Dalmi, a bright and ambitious young woman aiming to become the Steve Jobs of South Korea. Revolving around her are 2 men. The first one is Do-san, once a math genius, now the family's shame as his company is going down under. And the second one, Chi-pyong, a prickly investor, the Gordon Ramsay of investments, who has a sharp tongue. Dalmi mistakenly thought Do-san was her first love, who used to exchange letters with her when they were young. And Do-san, despite never knowing Dalmi, gladly accepted the misunderstanding. They later joined hands for a new startup, with Dalmi saying she was inspired by Do-san. Meanwhile, Chi-pyong was the real author of Dalmi's letters. Too shy to reveal his real name to Dalmi, he picked a random name he saw in the newspaper, Do-san, which is ironically the same name as his future rivals. Chi-pyong was the real Prince Charming, assisting Dalmi from young to old. Throughout the series, viewers learned of his struggles, his dreams, his special treatment for the female lead, and can't help but root for the guy. But apparently the Cinderella trope is getting old, and Prince Charmings are getting replaced by math geniuses. Ever feel the urge to shake the characters off their stupidity? Well, Startup is going to make you feel exactly that. Chip Young never admitted the letters were his until the end, and ended up losing his love. Dalmi, after spending quite a lot of time with Do-san, had fallen for him, regardless of the ugly side. She decided to leave the past behind and followed her current feelings. Tell me you didn't think this is one of the most dissatisfying love triangles in K-drama history. Number 4. Record of Youth. If you think there isn't a perfect male character in K-dramas, Haehyo in Record of Youth will prove you wrong. Unfortunately, he's a perfect second male lead, so you should prepare to cry him a river. Record of Youth follows the lives of 3 young people in the entertainment industry. Hyejun, a model with a humble background who aspires to be a famous actor, Haehyo, his best friend from a rich family with the same dream, and Chung-ha, a makeup artist and a fangirl of Hyejun from his debut. Chung-ha was assigned to do makeup for Hyejun at a fashion event, and there went their budding romance. But Haehyo also fell in love with Chung-ha, going out of his way to ensure her not getting hurt. Like every typical youth drama, there is rivalry. The 2 friends compete to succeed in their field, and Hyejun, despite his poor condition, wins over Haehyo and rises to the top with his gifted talent. Haehyo, though being jealous as his friend got both fame and love, is actually a fair player. He never once attempted to sabotage Hyejun and Chung-ha, even supporting the couple in their dreams. Despite Haehyo's kindness, supportive friendship, and selfless love, his ending is rather frustrating. He realized his fame was bought by money, and had to acknowledge that he had no talent. Haehyo's whole life was basically manipulated by his mother. He finally decided to do something of his own choice and join the military. In my opinion, compared to the predictable and bland Hyejun, Haehyo's character has more depth and a more interesting background. He just deserves love better than any male lead. Number 5. True Beauty. For female lead Jokyung, it's makeup or breakup. Used to being constantly bullied by peers and family for her appearance, our main character turns to makeup tutorial videos to make herself prettier. She was later called a goddess in her new school, yet still fears that one day her bare face would be revealed. Unfortunately, her dashing classmate Suho had seen something in her beyond all that makeup. Together with his former best friend Seochun, the 2 engaged in a race towards Jokyung's heart. Just like K-drama second male lead tropes, Seochun is a rich, sexy guy and has a kind of bad boy tough shell, but is in fact an inner softie. He stole hearts left and right. He's cool yet cute, manly yet childish, caring and understanding. A perfect fantasy of most girls. And yet, Seochun still lost the female lead to Suho, the familiar K-drama good boy. So, of all the second male leads above, who do you think deserves better? Just comment down below. And if you want more videos like this, like, share, and subscribe to bbalidrama. We'll come back soon. See ya!